With me in the studio to discuss the issue, a panel of guests from both sides of the debate. The High Court hears claims the police attempted to sabotage the appeal of two men convicted of murdering Constable Stephen Carroll. And hundreds of jobs are at risk at the home entertainment company Extravision. It's a polarising debate. Liberals versus traditionalists. Gay rights versus biblical teaching. And at Stormont, largely unionists versus nationalists. MLAs have rejected a second call for gay marriage to take place in Northern Ireland. The motion was brought by Sinn Féin, but effectively vetoed by the DUP. However, as Sharon O'Neill reports, gay rights campaigners say the battle for change will continue.
Northern Ireland is changing. Our towns and cities more multicultural. Life in the 21st century is more diverse than ever. But if you're gay and want to get married here, you can't. Yes, there are civil unions, but any moves to legalise same-sex marriage beyond that have met with failure. So, are those who want to keep the status quo standing up for Christian beliefs or stuck in the Dark Ages? Protests outside Stormont. Inside, our politicians prepare to vote. And in the end, motion defeated 53 to 42. The second time in 6 months, attempts to force change blocked.
All the state has simply done is enshrine the view that always pertained, even in ancient societies, long before there were religious views on this, that marriage was between a man and a woman.
Attitudes in Ireland are changing. Changing because people do not want to see citizens discriminated against. They are changing because our lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgendered communities have said enough is enough.
So, no movement on same-sex marriage. It now appears Northern Ireland will be the only part of the UK not to legalise these weddings. And with political parties and those with influence in society so divided on the issue, change may be a long way off. The gay community has long campaigned for the union between couples to be recognised in law as marriage.
Civil partnerships have been a really good thing for the past 7 years when they've been in place, but marriage is the standard that people learn when they're children. It's in all our books, it's in our fairy tales. This is the standard that we're taught from whenever we're children, and to grow up and find that you're actually denied that standard can be harming and damaging to people who just want to live their lives.
On the other side of the fence, those who believe it's simply wrong. Pastor Brian Madden and his wife Martine are Christians, evangelicals. Not anti-gay, they are firmly against same-sex marriage.
Well, I do live and let live, but God says I am the Lord and I change not. And I live by the principles of God's word to the best that I can. And people do change, but not all change is good change, as history has proved itself.
And Martine, why is it so wrong?
Well, I just feel that it doesn't even seem natural. I mean, it has always been man and woman, and in my eyes, God created man and woman, and that's where children come from, and that's where the multiplication comes from, so why does people have to interfere with it?
When politics and religion come into the equation, it's a delicate mix. Justice Minister David Ford found himself in hot water over his support for gay marriage. He stepped aside as elder of his church and opted out of this latest vote.
Yes, there are sensitivities around the issue, but I'm quite happy that I put forward a view which is around the separation of church and state. The churches should have the right to define their own practices and beliefs, but the state should provide services for all citizens equally. And that was encompassed in the amendment that we put forward.
The Netherlands was the first country to introduce same-sex marriage. Many others soon followed. Even in the Republic, change is in the air. But in France, it's causing a massive row. Here, another legal challenge over equality looms.
We would prefer, the people of Northern Ireland I think would prefer that politicians did the job of eradicating inequality in this society. If they won't do that, if they abdicate their responsibility, people will go to the courts and ask the judges to do the politicians' job. That's not ideal, but people have no choice, and that is what will happen on this issue as it is on other issues to do with adoption and the gay blood ban.
Away from Stormont, opinion is also split on the streets.
Marriage is for a man and a woman. I happen to believe that that's the way God made you.
Yeah, they should. If it's what they want, yeah, they should. It is, if at the end of the day, as long as it's not thrown down my throat, I don't care. I'm actually married myself, and if anyone told me that I couldn't marry, I'd kick up one hell of a stink.
I honestly think and firmly believe man was made for woman and woman was made for man, and that. I think it's absolutely appalling.
Yes, it's their own. They've rights, of course. They should be able to marry. They've rights, like everyone else. Them rights shouldn't be taken away from them.
All those involved in this issue say they will continue to fight their corners.
Children don't play house with a civil partnership when they're young. They grow up knowing that marriage is the understood quality of relationship in a society, and I think it's unreasonable to expect people to settle for anything less.
Because there's no tolerance towards Christianity. We're seen as old age type people, not up with the times, not up. Well, we are. I have a family and 3 children. We enjoy our life. We're completely up with the times. We're relevant people in a relevant world.
And you'd be happy to keep the status quo?
Yep, at the minute 100%, yeah.
This is an issue that in Northern Ireland particularly polarises public opinion, and a debate that still has a long way to run. Sharon O'Neill, UTV Live Tonight.